Today we are doing the London Loop walk section 12 and it starts at Uxbridge and we are currently standing by the Swan and Bottle at the side of the Grand Union Canal. We're following the London Loop signs where we can. There's the Swan and Bottle. We've just come in that direction actually, a few minutes walk from Uxbridge High Street. Now we're heading along the canal path at this moment. It's a lovely day. It was a grey, dreary day yesterday, but only very few clouds in the sky this morning, and temperature is around about 48-50 Fahrenheit, so it's about 10 Celsius, so ideal walking temperature really. And here we have the A40, the noise of the traffic continuously shatters the illusion of being in the countryside. Not sure what these pipes are carrying across here. Water? Sewage? Not sure at all. There's another rather long boat. Ahead, this should be Bridge 183, which we cross and then carry on walking up the other side of the canal. Standing on this side of the canal, we're in the London Borough of Hillingdon. Across the canal, and you're in Buckinghamshire. The canal marks the boundary of the edge of London Borough. This is the view looking north from the top of Bridge 183. Here's another busy looking section of the canal, and coming up ahead of us is Denham Lock. Here we are at Denham Lock, looking south back the way we've just come, and this is Denham Lock. We continue heading northwards. This apparently is Friends Tea Garden, but I don't suppose at 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning in October it's open. Oh, we're open Wednesday to Sunday, 10:30 to 5:30. Well, perhaps we should investigate. Well, I was wrong. Friends Tea Garden is indeed open. So we've stopped to have some coffee and a toasted cheese and ham sandwich. It certainly seems to be a popular walk on a Sunday morning. Well, we're into Sunday afternoon now. Actually, it's 12:15, and plenty early enough not to worry about hours of daylight. Sunset's still almost towards 7 o'clock before it gets too dark to walk here. This is Bridge 182, so we're crossing over this and back over to the other side of the canal again. Here behind is Denham Quarry. It's now a nature reserve cum park, about 180 acres for local people to walk in. It's looked after by London Borough of Hillingdon. Here's another view of Denham Quarry. I'm sure it's cold and the water is deep. This is rather a pleasant walk up through here. Over to our left, behind the trees, there was a canal, and over to our right, if through these bushes is the Waterfield Quarry. Somewhere in the trees there was a rather noisy bird which stopped as soon as I started filming. It doesn't happen in David Attenborough's nature programmes, does it? There's Cathy walking on. It's a rather picturesque part of the walk through the trees. This part here we've just walked through, it looks as if it's probably part of the works for HS2. It's that kind of area around here, Denham, up towards Duroach Cross. It's it's sort of old Great Central Country where much of the HS2 work seems to be taking place. Through the fence here, there's a large boatyard. Plenty of boats in there. But we're continuing up this path for now. There's plenty of bird life here, you can hear them. There's very little occasional motor traffic coming up to the boatyard, but otherwise it's very quiet around here. You can enjoy the sounds of nature. Here we're walking through the woodland. Quite dense undergrowth too, and a narrow path, and have to watch out for the stinging nettles too. We're walking here through a nice canopy of trees. It's quite cool actually. Not cool enough for me to put a jacket on yet while I'm walking, but it's quite an ideal day for walking really. Sun's coming in and out. It's quite dry. It's dry underfoot. No, it's not muddy and squelchy, which this path certainly would be if we'd had a few days of rain. So it's pretty much ideal conditions. Here we are at another lock, and the lady at the top there is opening the sluice gates. This is another one of those canal side properties that once upon a time would have been the lock keeper's cottage when traffic up and down here was industrial rather than leisure based. This lock is actually wide water lock, and currently a boat here that's heading down towards Uxbridge, and lady down there is now just opening the gates. And they're on the move, powering through. Generally does it. Hopefully his boat is narrow enough that he only needs one gate to be open. Onwards and, well, downwards I suppose, in terms of Eventually one could end up on the Thames. The locks, of course, aren't tidal. I mean, canals are not tidal. Not usually. Meanwhile, we continue northwards. It is, of course, very rural around here, but there are signs of industry over there behind the trees. Over this side looks like probably industrial units or office places at least. The countryside, of course, is not all just idyllic woodlands and rivers and canals.
That's nice.
Some of the people here whose houses back onto the canal have rather picturesque gardens. Another rather picturesque view. Cut logs and weeping willow. And just fading into the distance, sound of a light aircraft. I believe there's a airfield somewhere not too far away from here, over towards Gerrard's Cross, Chalfont, St Giles area, but I'm not sure of its name or its exact location. Yet another one of the rustic looking boats moored here on the canal. It's not exactly New England, but there are some nice autumnal shades as we walk up the canal. Here we are at Black Jack's Lock, and a young lady there is just closing the lock gate after the boat here is into the lock. Next job is to open the sluice gates to let the water level down to that beyond the gate, and then the boat can continue its journey southwards. Now we can see the water going down, slowly but surely. Because these gates are very old and long since they've been watertight. But once the sluice gates are open at the other end, the water drains out faster than it's coming in that end. There we are now. The water is at the level of the canal at this end. The boat can come through. Notice the date on the wall over there, 1870, which I presume is when the lock gates were installed. Then they closed the sluice gates again, and once the boat has come all the way through, then they close the lock gates, and then the whole process can repeat itself. And if they were travelling in the opposite direction, then they would drain the water from the lock before they went in, close the gates behind them, open the sluice gates at the other end, and fill the lock and head out in the other direction. So it's bi-directional. Here's another view by Blackjack's lock. This delightful looking thatched cottage, I assume, was once the lock keeper's abode. And there's several boats come through the lock while we've been sitting here. There's 2 boats in here side by side. They're draining the lock as these 2 are heading southbound down towards Denham and Uxbridge. And we've just stopped here at Blackjack Mill and had lunch, which was really rather nice.
You go wait till he's out. She forgot.
It's always interesting to watch.
Go on then, Mary. All yours. Yeah, go on, you're gone. Throw yourself around the other side.
There goes our 2 boats downriver after coming out of the lock behind us, on their way down towards Denham and Uxbridge. Well, we decided that when we got to Blackjack Mill, we'd call it quits, and we took a shortcut up past the old orchard and then Park Lane, heading down towards Harefield village, where we'll catch the bus back into Uxbridge. Well, here we are in the centre of Harefield, so just walk around the corner from here and take a bus back to Uxbridge.